Michael Gerard Tyson was born on June 30, 1966, in the Brownsville neighborhood of Brooklyn, New York. His childhood was extremely difficult, marked by poverty, crime, and instability. His father left when he was just 2 years old, and his mother, Lorna Smith Tyson, struggled to raise him and his siblings in harsh conditions. Tyson was often involved in street fights, and by the age of 13, he had been arrested dozens of times for petty crimes and gang-related activities. He was eventually sent to the Tryon School for Boys, a reform school where he met Bobby Stewart, a former professional boxer who worked as a counselor. Stewart recognized Tyson's natural boxing ability and introduced him to the renowned trainer Cus D'Amato, who would change Tyson's life. Cus D'Amato became more than just a boxing coach to Tyson. He became a father figure and mentor, instilling discipline and confidence in the young fighter. D'Amato's teaching focused not only on Tyson's physical abilities, but also on mental toughness and defense. D'Amato trained Tyson in the peekaboo boxing style, which involved a tight defense and quick counterpunching, allowing Tyson to close the distance quickly and land powerful blows. Tyson moved in with D'Amato and his partner, Camille Ewald, in Catskill, New York. Under D'Amato's guidance, Tyson's life found structure. Unfortunately, D'Amato passed away in 1985, just before Tyson's rise to boxing superstardom, leaving Tyson without the stable influence he had depended on. Tyson's professional career began in 1985 when he was just 18 years old. His early fights were a spectacle. Tyson knocked out many of his opponents in the first round with ferocious power and aggression. His ability to slip punches and deliver devastating combinations made him one of the most feared boxers of his time. In 1986, Tyson made history by becoming the youngest heavyweight champion ever at just 20 years old after defeating Trevor Berbick for the WBC heavyweight title. His victory was emphatic, with Berbick being knocked down multiple times before the fight was stopped in the second round. Tyson's reign as the baddest man on the planet continued as he unified the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles by defeating fighters like James Smith and Tony Tucker. By 1987, Tyson had become the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the first to unify all 3 titles. His career record, filled with early knockouts, added to his invincible image. In 1988, Tyson's personal life began to unravel. He married actress Robin Givens, and their marriage was turbulent from the start. Givens described Tyson as mentally unstable and violent, and the marriage quickly became tabloid fodder. In a now infamous 1988 interview with Barbara Walters, Givens, with Tyson sitting next to her, said that life with Tyson was torture and that he had an extremely volatile temper. The marriage ended in a messy divorce after just a year. Around this time, Tyson's behavior became increasingly erratic. He parted ways with his longtime trainer Kevin Rooney, who had been an essential part of his early success. Tyson also began surrounding himself with negative influences, including promoter Don King, who many believe exploited Tyson's vulnerabilities. In 1990, Tyson suffered one of the most shocking upsets in sports history. On February 11, 1990, Tyson faced underdog James Buster Douglas in Tokyo, Japan. Tyson was heavily favored, but his preparation for the fight was lackluster. He had underestimated Douglas and was unprepared mentally and physically. Douglas, fighting with the motivation of his mother's recent death, boxed brilliantly, using his jab to keep Tyson at bay. In the 10th round, Douglas knocked out Tyson, ending his unbeaten record and reign as the heavyweight champion. The loss shocked the world and marked the beginning of Tyson's decline. Tyson's personal troubles continued. In 1991, Tyson was accused of raping Desiree Washington, a Miss Black America contestant. He was convicted of rape in 1992 and sentenced to 6 years in prison. Tyson maintained his innocence throughout the trial, but the evidence, including Washington's testimony, was compelling. Tyson served 3 years in prison before being released on parole in 1995. While in prison, Tyson converted to Islam and adopted the name Malik Abdul Aziz. The conviction tarnished his reputation, but Tyson remained determined to return to the ring and reclaim his former glory. After his release from prison, Tyson returned to boxing with great fanfare. He won a series of fights and regained the WBC and WBA heavyweight titles in 1996, defeating Frank Bruno and Bruce Seldon. However, his much-anticipated showdown with Evander Holyfield in November 1996 ended in disappointment. Holyfield, a skilled and determined fighter, dominated the fight and won by technical knockout in the 11th round. The rematch, held on June 28, 1997, became one of the most infamous events in sports history. During the fight, Tyson, frustrated by Holyfield's tactics, including alleged headbutts, bit Holyfield's ear twice, tearing off a piece of it during the second bite. The incident led to Tyson's disqualification and suspension from boxing. The earbite fight became one of the defining moments of Tyson's career and severely damaged his reputation. Despite earning over $300 million during his boxing career, Tyson faced severe financial difficulties due to lavish spending, legal issues, and mismanagement. In 2003, he declared bankruptcy, claiming $23 million in debt. Tyson continued fighting sporadically but never regained his former dominance. He lost to fighters like Lennox Lewis in 2002 and Danny Williams in 2004. His final fight took place in 2005 when he was defeated by Kevin McBride. Tyson retired after the fight, admitting that his heart was no longer in boxing. In the years following his retirement, Tyson struggled with drug addiction, mental health issues, and personal demons. However, in the late 2000s, Tyson began to turn his life around. He became a more reflective and humble figure, speaking openly about his struggles with addiction and trauma. In 2012, Tyson launched a one-man show called Mike Tyson, Undisputed Truth, in which he shared his life story, including his mistakes and triumphs. The show was well received and later turned into a memoir. Tyson also appeared in films like The Hangover, showcasing his lighter side and helping to restore his public image. Tyson became an advocate for mental health and sobriety and even ventured into the cannabis industry with his Tyson Ranch brand. His work in promoting marijuana as a therapeutic option for mental health and pain relief became a significant part of his post-boxing life. In 2020, Tyson, at the age of 54, returned to the ring for an exhibition match against fellow boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. The fight ended in a draw, but Tyson's physical condition and enthusiasm for the sport impressed many. The bout reignited interest in Tyson and reminded fans of his enduring presence in the world of boxing. Mike Tyson's life and career are a mix of brilliance and chaos. He is widely regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights in boxing history, with unparalleled knockout power and an intimidating presence in the ring. At the same time, his legal troubles, personal struggles, and infamous behavior marred his legacy.